Hey guys, how you doing? It's Coach Tregs here, the founder of 30 Plus Men's Fitness, and welcome back to the channel. The channel's really starting to grow, really appreciating all of those likes, those subscribes, and those comments. So if you like this content and you just want to be kept up to date with everything and just get notified when I release new content, just hit subscribe. I'm busy doing the shorts every day. I'm trying to create 2 pieces of content for you a week and do a live workout, and you guys seem to be enjoying that, so thank you so much. Now tonight's or today's topic is weekend or weekend. This is something that I talk about a lot with my clients. Okay, so you know, in my humble opinion, health, fitness, fat loss is won and lost on the weekend, because a lot of people think that they are good in the week, and then they get to Friday night and they're like, sod it, let's have some beers, let's have a Chinese, and let's just put the feet up all weekend. Now look, there is nothing wrong with having a few beers. In fact, I am having a little Peroni as I record this, but the key is balance. And you know, I've long said this, right? I'm not working with college athletes trying to get a draft to a major league team. I'm working with guys predominantly in their 40s and 50s that, you know, work hard, have kids, have stresses, have careers in this fast-paced life, and they like to relax with a couple of beers and maybe eat some higher calorie food on the weekend. And I'm here to tell you, hey, that is absolutely fine, okay? Because life's about balance. However, it is my job as a fitness coach and somebody that helps people lose weight to let you know that, you know, if you are going to enjoy some beers on the weekend, you are going to enjoy some higher calorie food on the weekend, then there has to be some give and take, okay? And I'm going to basically, in the next 10 minutes, give you like my best tips for maintaining on the weekend. Because look, if you've created a calorie deficit all week for say 4 to 5 days, and then a couple of days a week you just maintain, you're in a calorie deficit. So we know that in order to lose fat, we need to be in a calorie deficit. We need to be consistent with that. But that doesn't mean some days you can't be over, or some days you can just maintain, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So, you know, essentially what you really need to do is you need to go away and work out your calorie allowance for the week, okay? But just for argument's sake here, let's say I've got a client on 2,000 calories a day based on their height, their weight, their level of movement, and their age. And that 2,000 calories a day, as long as they adhere to a certain level of movement and exercise, if they eat 2,000 calories a day, or they eat 14,000 calories a week, and they keep to their level of movement, they will lose a pound a week. Just for example, because this is going to be nice and easy, right? So when do people tend to eat and drink? Because let's not forget, there's calories in drink as well. When do they tend to eat and drink the most? It's on the weekend, right? And then most people get to the weekend and are like, oh, I've blown it, I'll have to start again Monday. They're going into Monday drastically slashing their calories, really trying to go aggressive, and you don't need to do that, okay? So I'm a massive fan of getting my clients to track from a Saturday to a Saturday. Why? Because it gives them that ownership to start to monitor all those extra calories if that's their bag on the weekend, okay? So let's say, for example, now, you know, you have a higher calorie weekend, like most folk do, right? So on the Saturday, you have 2,500 calories. And on the Sunday, you have 2,500 calories. Now, that's a nice amount of calories. You know, you could probably fit, you know, a couple of beers, maybe a takeout, a big roast, we're going to come on to that in a second, into those calories, and they would fit, okay? But there is going to need to be some give and take. Now, rather than thinking, oh, I've gone over my calories by 500 a day, if your calorie goal for the week was 14,000, all you've got to do is minus 5,000. That's 2.5 Saturday, 2.5 Sunday. You've now got 9,000 calories left for the rest of the week, and you just divide that by 5, and it's basically working out at 1,800 calories. Let's just quickly look at this here. Just want to make sure I get it right. So I pretty much believe it is. Let's just double check here. Bear with me, guys. Okay, so 9,000 shared to 5. 1,800 calories. So you haven't failed, and you don't need to go into Monday drastically, you know, slashing your calories to say, you know, below 1,000 calories or below 1,500 calories, 1,800 calories. It's a nice amount of calories. we tend to eat a little bit less on a Monday anyway. So really, you can see that there's this protocol is just showing you that, you know, you can have more, you can drink a little bit more on the weekend, you can eat a little bit more on the weekend, and all you've got to do is just tactically reduce them during the week. So look, if you follow me on Facebook, you follow me on socials, you will see that every Sunday I post a massive roast. My dad's lived with me now for about 5 years. He does a big roast on a Sunday. It's served at 1:30 p.m. and I really look forward to it. In fact, he starts cooking it about 10:30 in the morning. When I'm doing my live workouts on a Sunday morning, I can smell it and I get very excited about it. Now, in order for me to eat that roast, which is probably about 1,750 calories, and have a little bit more if I want, I skip breakfast on a Sunday. That's it. Because if I want to maintain my weight or even get a bit trimmer, there has to be some give and take. So, as you know, I'm a big fan of intermittent fasting. You will see videos on this channel about it. So I do a strategic intermittent fast on a Sunday morning. But what I also do is I exercise. Quite often I'm live for 2 hours. This is not to impress you, it's to impress upon you. You don't have to do exercise for 2 hours. You can go out for a walk. That is just the way that my current schedule operates. And I burn a lot of calories during those sessions. Quite often then I'll go down, I'll have a sea dip, I'll come home, I'll have a hot bath, and then about 1 o'clock, I'm ready, I'm fresh, doing a bit of admin, help my dad with the table, and I sit and I enjoy that meal at 1:30 p.m. knowing that I've already done a shed load of movement, I've burnt a load of calories, and I can make that fit because I've skipped breakfast and I've exercised. Now, if you were thinking of doing like something like a massive Sunday roast, you could skip breakfast on a Sunday. You're not going to go into starvation mode. You're not going to like store fat. We've already discussed that in a previous video. That is one way that you can make a higher calorie meal fit. Now, another thing is after that meal and seconds, I don't tend to be hungry for the rest of the day. So I might just have a protein shake before bed, and I can actually go to bed on a Sunday in a calorie deficit, having enjoyed a lovely roast with roast potatoes, Yorkshire pudding, all the trimmings. You know, I've done the whole Sunday roast with no carbs, and it's miserable, and it doesn't need to be that way. Now, if we come back a day and we go to a Friday night or a Saturday night when most people like a Chinese takeaway or a pizza, it's the same principle. If you want that higher calorie food, understand that you're probably going to use up your calorie allowance in one sitting, and that's fine. If you wanted to have a few more calories, you've got to move a bit more. So you could say, well, I'm having an Indian takeaway Saturday night. I'm going to skip breakfast. I'm going to do 10,000 steps. I'm going to have a light lunch, maybe 300 to 500 calories. And then in the evening, I can have 2,000 calories of lovely Indian food, Chinese takeaway. It might not be optimal, but like I've already said to you, we're over 30s, 40s, 50s men that just want to enjoy life, but, you know, have that balance and try and get a little bit leaner. And I'm here to tell you that you can have those foods, but you just need to create the room. So I'm a big fan of intermittent fasting, as I've already said, and it's a great tool for weekends if you want higher calorie food. That's it. I mean, if you wake up and you're having a full English breakfast, you're having a Sunday roast, and you're having Domino's pizza in the evening, I can't help you. You know, you are just asking for trouble, okay? But with weight loss being a calorie gain, we can maybe skip a few meals, go a little bit lighter here and there. We can up our movement, which I want to touch on in a minute, and you could enjoy more food on the weekend. I have to stress to you guys, if you want to nail this, you have to reframe the weekend. A lot of people think, oh, I've had a long week, my feet up. Well, I'm afraid not, because let's say you're confined to the shackles of a desk all week, you're working on a laptop all week, and now the weekend comes and you've got time to move more. That's exactly what you should do. If you've got to take your kids to sports, don't sit in the car on your phone. Get up and go for a walk. If they're doing some sort of training or they're in a building and you can't go in, go for a walk. The amount of parents I see that are complaining about weight loss on social media that sit in their car when they bring their kids to football training and are on that phone for a whole hour is beyond me, when that's an opportunity to move. So get out with the family. You don't have to be doing high intensity training on the weekend. It can just be low intensity, getting those steps up, but you've got to move. You have to move. I know it's been a long week, but it may have been a long week of sitting down. So the weekend has to be reframed. I can't stress this enough. The moment I took charge of my weekends and become more active, getting involved with my kids' sports, doing live workouts, and using strategic IF, so I was able to have higher calorie meals. That's when I was able to not feel like I'd fallen off the wagon every weekend, because there is no wagon. This is the thing I'm trying to get across to you, okay? There is no wagon. You either hit your targets for the day or you don't. But each day is an opportunity to pull them back. If you go over one day, you don't have to, like, let's say if you go over on a Friday night, you don't have to write off a Saturday and a Sunday. The damage is done on the Saturday and the Sunday with that, oh, I've blown it on the Friday. You haven't. You know, you could go over your calories by 1,000 calories on a Friday night and pull that back by Saturday afternoon. Weight loss is a calorie game. Get to the weekend and keep in mind that if you've had good habits during the week, you're doing lots of steps, you're drinking lots of water, you're doing your workouts, keep doing that. If you haven't had such good habits during the week because you've been chained to a desk, now's the opportunity to move more, okay? You can have the higher calorie food, you can have a few beers. Beers may not be super nutritious, but it's just calories. That's just calories, probably about 180. That will go into MyFitnessPal. And you just offset. You just offset that with more movement or reducing a meal here and there. Each weekend you get a choice, whether it's going to be your weekend, your WEAK end, or it's just a normal weekend. You keep on moving, you enjoy life, you understand it's about balance, but you understand that in order to enjoy those extra calories, you just create a little bit of room for a little bit more movement or a little bit less food at other meal times which aren't as important to you as, say, for example, your Saturday night curry or your Sunday roast like me. Okay, guys, so I hope that helps. If you like this video, please leave us a comment, please subscribe, and I'll be back with more content very soon. Thanks again, guys.